AC Milan has a great European football history, having won 7 championships. Despite the fact that the team hasn't won the championship since 2007, there are various reasons why they could do so this season. In this video, we'll look at some of the factors that could help them win the Champions League. So, without further ado, let's get started. The UEFA Champions League is one of the world's most prestigious and important football club championships. It is significant because of its rich history, high level of competition, and the caliber of players and teams involved. The competition has a massive global following, with millions of fans tuning in to watch the matches and cheer on their favorite teams. AC Milan is one of the most successful clubs in UEFA Champions League history. AC Milan won the Champions League for the first time in 1963, defeating Portuguese team Benfica 2-1 in the final. They had to wait more than 20 years to win the title again, but their next triumph came in emphatic fashion, as they thrashed Steaua Bucuresti 4-0 in the 1989 final. AC Milan have awoken from their recent slumber to reclaim their place as one of Europe's finest teams. They have recovered their competitive edge under manager Stefano Pioli, and are now aiming to overcome a painfully long UEFA Champions League absence. Milan has struggled for years as a result of bad planning and poor transfer activity. Several managers have been hampered with aging squads that are well past their prime, but this is no longer the case at San Siro. Gianluigi Donnarumma heads a group of stars under the age of 22 that have the potential to be world-class. Tonali will play alongside Theo Hernandez, Ismail Benacer, and Rafael Leo. But Stefano Pioli's team has more to offer than just bright youth. To lead their young starlets through the season, there's a mix of stars in their prime and those with a few more years of expertise. Milan have reached the semi-finals of both the old-style European Cup and the current Champions League 13 times, including this season, the 4th most of any side in history. Only Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, and Barcelona have reached the semi-finals more times than Milan, who has done so 6 times in the European Cup and 7 times after the renaming. Milan has advanced from 10 of their previous 12 semi-final encounters, doing so 5 times in the European Cup, and a further 5 times in their Champions League heyday. In fact, Milan's only defeat in a European Cup semi-final came in the tournament's debut year, 1955-56, when they were defeated 5-4 on aggregate by eventual winners Real Madrid. The Rossoneri then advanced to the Final Four in 1957-58, 1962-63, 1968-69, 1988-89, and 1989-90 seasons, winning all 5 and going on to win the European Cup in the last 4. Milan were semi-finalists 3 seasons in a row between 1993 and 1995, winning all 3 and eventually defeating Ajax in the 1994 final, extending their European domination in the early days of the Champions League. Milan's winning streak at that stage of the competition was extended to 10, with aggregate triumphs in the 2003 and 2005 semi-finals. But that glorious trend was broken in 2006, when they were defeated 1-0 over 2 legs by Barcelona. Surprisingly, that tight defeat is Milan's lone defeat in 6 Champions League semi-final home matches, and the Ludovic Giuli goal that proved decisive is the only strike Milan has ever conceded at this level of the tournament on San Siro turf. Milan did not qualify for the knockout stages of the Champions League until the 6th and penultimate match day, after failing to show their authority in a Group E alongside Chelsea, Red Bull Salzburg, and Dynamo Zagreb. The Rossoneri earned 4 points in their first 2 games, drawing 1-1 with Salzburg before easily defeating Zagreb 3-1, but a brace of 3-0 and 2-0 defeats to Graham Potter's Chelsea quickly followed. An early red card for ex-Blues player Fikayo Tomori did not help matters in the second of those meetings with Chelsea, as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang scored a rare goal in front of his former fans, dropping Pioli's men to 3rd place with 2 games remaining. A 4-0 win over Zagreb and Salzburg's 2-1 loss to Chelsea on the penultimate matchday catapulted Milan back into 2nd position, ensuring the Rossoneri only needed to avoid defeat at home to the Austrian champions to advance to the knockout stages. Pioli's team did precisely that with a 2nd consecutive 4-0 thrashing, finishing with 10 points from 18 available to claim 2nd place behind Chelsea, despite having been given the softer tie in the last 16. Spurs were not feeling the love when they met Milan for the first leg of their last 16 tie at San Siro on Valentine's Day, as cracks began to develop between Tottenham Hotspur and ex-Nerazzurri head coach Antonio Conte. Conte made a surprise appearance on the bench following gallbladder surgery, but the Italian's return to his old haunts was marred by a 7th-minute Brahim Diaz score, which gave Milan a slim first-leg lead. Such a scoreline was hardly conclusive, especially given Spurs' history of scoring at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, and some in white may have felt that the second leg was theirs to take as Milan took a cautious approach. However, Pioli's game plan worked well as Milan held off a toothless Tottenham, who had Christian Romero sent off, in North London to earn a goalless draw and a place in the quarter-finals for the first time since the 2011-12 season. Milan left their domestic problems at the door when Napoli made the short trip to San Siro for the first leg of their quarter-final confrontation last month, pitting their wits against the team on the verge of usurping them at the top of the Calcio game. Milan, who had beaten Napoli 4-0 in Serie A 10 days earlier, struck first on the 40-minute mark through Ismael Benacer before Andre Frank Zambo Anguissa was sent off for the visitors. Staying close to take a 1-0 lead, Milan traveled to the Stadio Diego Armando Maradona for the second leg 6 days later, when Olivier Giroud missed an early penalty before shooting the Rossoneri ahead on the stroke of halftime thanks to a fantastic solo run by Rafael Leao. It was Napoli's turn to squander a golden chance from 12 yards in the second half, as Mike Maignan saved Kavica Kvaratskhelia penalty, and a last-gasp Victor Osimhen header proved inconsequential as Pioli's side came up trumps in the Calcio quarter-final. Stefano Pioli, the manager, has built an extremely disciplined and tactically prepared squad that plays tough but efficient football. The team's nucleus is very youthful, with players ranging in age from 22 to 26. There is no doubt that if this unit stays together, it may progress significantly in the future and accomplish some great things. But what is Milan's ceiling in this year's UEFA Champions League? The semi-finals are many people's last stop, but a vocal minority believes Milan has a legitimate shot at winning the title. According to them, Pioli's team is the only one in the semis that is not under pressure, with all of the other teams already aiming for the championship. Milan was not superior in any element of the game, but the opponents simply were not operating at the required level, significantly underperforming. And don't forget that Milan defeated Napoli, the current Serie A winners, twice in a matter of days before going undefeated at Diego Armando Maradona Stadium in the second leg of the UCL quarterfinals. AC Milan has the ability to win the Champions League this season. They've all the qualities to compete in Europe's elite tournament, including a quality roster, an experienced coach, and good team unity. It will be interesting to see how AC Milan fare during the campaign and whether they can add another Champions League trophy to their collection. But in the meantime, do subscribe to our channel for more entertaining videos. And feel free to leave your comments, questions, and predictions in the comment section below. Thank you for watching. We'll see you all in the next video.